Hey y'all, welcome back to Crime and Cocktails. I'm Lena, and if you anything like me, you love true crime and a little drinky drink. And on this here channel, we're doing a little bit of both. So get your drinks together and let's get into the next story. Before we get into the next story, tonight I'm drinking something new. It's new and it's good. It's called Mixed Cocktails. And this is the margarita. They got like a couple other flavors I didn't try because I just got on this. Shout out to Because Didi, who just put me up on this the other day. But I've been drinking them ever since she put me up on them. And it's 12% alcohol. So, you only need about one. You're going to be a little lit. I like them. Cheers. Now, tonight's story is Married to a Monster, and it is about Chris and Shanann Watts. Now, this was a very popular story. When it all first happened, it got a real a bunch of media attention, and so I had been following it and researching it ever since it started, and which was in 2018, so it was only a couple years ago. It is fairly new. And they done made a couple movies, couple documentaries about it already. But it's a real crazy and sad story. So let's just get into it. Now, Chris and Shanann met in 2010 in North Carolina. They were both from North Carolina. And 2 years later, they ended up getting married November 3rd, 2012. A little over a year after they were married, they welcomed a baby girl on December 17th, 2013 that they named Bella. And on July 17th of 2015, they welcomed another daughter, Celeste. The family ended up settling in Colorado, where they bought a 5-bedroom home in 2013. So this was, right after they got married, probably before they had the kids. They was doing everything by the book. Shanann, she had been married once before, let me say that. And that ended in divorce. And then that's when she met Chris and fell in love with him, and they ended up getting married. Got a house, which they said that she had the house built, from the ground up, and she was fairly young when she did this. So go ahead, girl. She was getting to it, right? So anyways, they ended up settling in Colorado, where they had this house at. 5-bedroom home, beautiful home. Chris worked for a petroleum company, and Shanann did work in a children's hospital, but after she had started having the kids, she ended up leaving the hospital, I'm sure to be home with the kids more, and take care of the kids. And then she did end up working for it's called a multi-level marketing company. And she worked from home, so that was easier, Lord, I wish I could find a job like that. Speaking of jobs, don't mind my work shirt that I'm wasting stuff on. Anyways, now he worked for a petroleum company. She worked from home at for the multi-level marketing company. And even with them both being employed, they still did struggle because in 2015, they ended up filing for bankruptcy. Okay, now, I guess they got through that and, everything was going well. And in May of 2018, Shanann found out that she was pregnant again, and she decided to share the news with Chris via Facebook Live. She wanted to get his reaction. Y'all see the videos on live where they, popping out with some surprise for somebody to get their reaction. Now, some people called his reaction strange. It was kind of weird. What? I don't know. I didn't see it. So I don't know. But they said that he was acting weird. Not like he was, excited or whatever. So anyways, even though it was said that he had told her he wanted another baby. So this was kind of, he should have been happy. He wanted this what he wanted, right? Anyways, they said that Shanann was a social butterfly, and that's why she was good at her job, because she was very active on social media, selling the products on social media. My eye is itching. I'm sorry. Oh my goodness. It's got to be the lashes. It's got to be. Anyways, she was very active on social media, And she showed off her products, sold her products, and she also showed off her perfect life. Only it wasn't as perfect as she thought it was, because Chris had Shanann and everybody else fooled. He had started having an affair with a co-worker named Nicole Kessinger. And after this, the neighbors did report that they would hear them arguing and yelling at each other all up and down the driveway, just getting into it. Well, that resulted in Shanann and the girls leaving for 6 weeks to go back to her parents' house to spend some time with her parents. Now, Shanann called it like a vacation, like she was trying to make it seem like what it wasn't, but clearly they needed some time apart. It wasn't going so well, and they needed a break. And so Shanann and the girls packed up and left for 6 weeks. Now, the whole time they was gone, Shanann, there are text messages showing that Shanann had been, texting Chris and calling Chris, telling him, like basically telling him, like, I feel like things have changed. What do we like? Let's get this marriage back on track. Like, I love you, this, that, and the other. And he was, replying back. Sometimes he wouldn't reply back. She was calling, he wouldn't answer, which I'm sure he was probably with his mistress, not answering calls, not responding to texts. But Shanann definitely was showing, trying to show that she was still all in the marriage, and that's what she wanted. Oh, where am I? Blah, 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 blah. And she was also, asking him, why you not calling? Me and your kids is, a million miles away. You're not calling to check on us. What's really going on? Why is there a change? Basically, she was telling him that she knew something was going on. He was lying and saying ain't nothing going on, and I love you back and all that when he did reply back. Okay. So, despite her doing all this, despite him not answering the phone and not replying to texts and, her knowing something was going on, she still wanted to make the marriage work out. Now, phone records show while the cat was away, the mice were definitely at play. And Chris and Nicole kept in close contact, even though he was ignoring the calls from his pregnant wife. He was definitely on the phone, sending text messages, nudes, all that, back and forth with Saho. So on July 14th, Chris ended up finally coming out and telling Shanann, you know what? I don't want this marriage. I don't want to be with you no more, and I don't want the baby. The baby that he had been asking for, that she was now pregnant with. You don't want what? And they had recently, after he had told her this, that he didn't want nothing to do with this and all this, they had just found out that it was going to be a boy, and Shanann did want to name him Nico. She was going to name him Nico, which is cute or whatever. Anyways, Shanann didn't want to give up on the marriage, and she suggested counseling. Chris said no. And once she got back home from the little 6-week vacation, Chris continued to see Nicole, and Shanann continued to try to save her marriage. She was even buying marriage counseling books, trying to give them to Chris, tell him to read it, trying to, do anything she could to try to save her marriage to this jackass that wasn't even worth it. So, on August 13th, Shanann and her friend returned from a business trip that they had been on. Shanann's friend had ended up dropping her off at around 2 o'clock in the morning. That was the last time anybody seen Shanann alive. And at about 5:30 a.m., a neighbor's camera caught Chris making 3 trips back and forth to the house, from the house to the truck, loading something into the truck. You couldn't really see, you couldn't really see all the way over, but you could see he was going back and forth with something in the truck. At I can't talk. At 8:30 a.m., Chris ended up calling the kids' school, and telling them that the kids ain't going to the school no more. Like, I'm taking the kids out the school. They're not going to be attending anymore. Weird shit. Weird ass shit. Now, later on that morning, the same friend who had dropped Shanann off, after the business trip, had sent Shanann a text because Shanann had a doctor's appointment that morning, and she knew that when she dropped her off, she was tired and she wasn't feeling all that hot. And so she was just calling to check on her, and see, what was up. Well, she texted her, and when she texted, Shanann didn't text back. So she called, a couple times. Shanann wouldn't answer the phone. She went over to the house, like, well, let me go see what the hell going on, because my friend not answering. So she went over there, and she called Chris, like, I'm here at your house. I'm knocking on the door. Shanann not answering the door. What's good? Where she at? Chris said, like, oh, well, she had mentioned having a play date or something, so that's probably where she at. Whatever. So, girlfriend wasn't having that. She wasn't going for that. So she got to peeping around, looking around, and went to the garage and seen that Shanann's car was still in the garage. And the car seats were still in the car. You seeing her, she went to a play date with the kids, how her car here, and the car seats are here. How the fuck did she get there, Chris? How did she get there? Even if somebody did come and pick her up, the car seats, she not gonna... Where is my friend? Where's she at? That's what old girl was thinking. So Chris just acting like he's stupid. So she ended up going to the door, trying to open the door. The door won't open. Apparently they had one of them little camera things on so if somebody come to the door, it comes, you alert you. So Chris see, like, on his phone that she's at the door. He said he's telling her, like, she gone, she had a play date, blah, 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 get away from the door. Like, stop trying to break in. Nigga, break in? Where's my friend? Break in. She said, guess what? I'm gonna call the police. I'm gonna let them break in. Chris like, no, don't call the police. Don't do that. Don't call the police. And so she like, fuck what you talking about. I'm calling the cops. She called the cops. When she said that, Chris rushed home. Now he want to come. Now he want to go looking. So he ended up rushing home. When he got there, the police was there. The police tried to ask him for the password to the garage to get in. He won't tell them. So he just ended up got to let him in. So he let him in. Everything inside looked fine. Like, everything was okay. There was nothing disturbed, no signs of struggle or nothing was wrong. Except the fact that Shanann's purse with her keys in it was still there and her cell phone was still there. So all her, stuff that we hold near and dear, her purse got all her money and credit cards, IDs, all that in it. The keys, can't do nothing, can't get in or out the house without the keys. Phone, all that was still there. And all the sheets on the beds was gone. The sheets on Chris and Shanann's bed was gone. And the sheets off the kids' beds was gone. So that was weird as hell. Weird as hell. So now the same day, by the time they get back out the house, all the news and the media is all around, they done put an APB out on this lady and her kids. So the news outlets are there and they want to know, they want word from the husband. Now it is said that Shanann's mom told him, don't do it. Like, don't get on TV. You know what I'm saying? They gonna start trying to say you did it and shit like that. Like, don't get on the TV. He got on the TV anyways. And he gave just a brief interview and he was like, basically saying, I don't know where my wife and my kids at. Just please come home. Wherever y'all at, just come home. But he was like, he didn't seem distraught. He wasn't crying. He wasn't frantic. Matter of fact, he had like a little smirk on his face. Like, kind of weird ass Now, the FBI ended up questioning Chris, and they asked him, when they was doing all that little questioning, of course, they was there any problems in your marriage? Were you cheating on your wife? Just asking them the regular little questions that they got to ask, the spouse, regardless of whatever happens. The spouse is always the first suspect. So, of course, they're going to try to dig down deep and see if anything was going on. You had any motives to do anything to your wife and your kids. Chris denied that. Even though he was seeing little coleslaw, little side dish over here on the side, he lied and said no. But he didn't know if Shanann was cheating or not, or had been having an affair. So, trying to throw her right on under the bus, ain't you? Then the FBI asked him if he would take a lie detector test. He agreed. And he fucking failed. Failed the lie detector test. Now, the interview, if y'all go and search for this interview, I seen it because I had watched the documentary first. I did watch the documentary. Not the documentary, it looked like a documentary, but it was like a movie. It was weird. It had confused me in the beginning because it was like a documentary. So I was thinking these are the real people because it looked like a documentary, but they was actors and it was like a whole movie, but whatever. But I seen the little interview, and the lady in the interview, she was a beast because she was in there just telling him, talking to him so real, like, we know you lying. Why'd you just tell us? I know you lying. You know you're not finna walk out of here. She was so real. She was like, you know you're not finna walk out of here. So stop lying. Tell me what you did. So anyways, after failing the polygraph, Chris asked to speak with his father. And they let him in. They ended up letting the dad in. And when his dad came in, the dad was asking, like, did you hurt them? Did you do something to them? Did you hurt them? Chris was like, yeah, I did. And do y'all know, he gonna try to tell a sorry-ass story. The sorriest story I ever heard in my life. Take a drink. He gonna sit up here and try to tell these people that when Shanann had got home, when her friend had dropped her off from that business trip at 2 o'clock in the morning, that he had started having a conversation with her about a divorce or whatever. He had been already saying that he didn't want the marriage no more. He didn't want the baby. So they got into an argument. And out of anger, Shanann went in the kids' room and strangled her daughters. And in a fit of rage, he strangled her. You all heard what I just said? That he said he wanted a divorce. So she went and killed her kids. And he just watched her kill the kids. And then got mad and killed her. If you don't get the... I'm sorry. I forgot I'll be forgetting I'm on YouTube. Listen here, Chris. You definitely should have came with something better than that, because that is not believable at all. At all. That just sounds dumb as hell. Like you is dumb as hell. So anyways, he said after that, he did end up loading the bodies into the truck, drove them to his job, dug a shallow grave and put Shanann's body in there, and then put his own kids, his own 2 daughters, into the oil tanks. So it was like some big oil tanks. I told you he worked for a petroleum company. Said he shoved them babies in the oil tanks. Now, on November 6th, he did end up pleading guilty to a few different counts of first-degree murder. He ended up getting sentenced for 5 life sentences. And then he ended up getting some extra years, like 46 more years for for killing them kids. Like it was something about killing a child before they reached the age of 12 or something like that. He got like 46 years for that. Then he got like 36 more years for killing the baby, you know, because she was pregnant with the baby boy with Nico. And so, or maybe it was the other way around. He got 46 years for that, and then 36 for killing the daughters who weren't at the age of 12 or something like that. But yeah, he definitely got 5 life sentences. They were going. He pled out. He pled out for one. They weren't going to go with the death sentence simply because Shanann's parents went against that. They automatically said they didn't want that. It's already been too much death. So we don't want no more death. But let him plead out. And then they did end up giving him 5 life sentences. I can't talk right now. I don't know. Is that you? Is it the drink? It might be because I can't talk right now. But the weird thing is, now remember, they was all the way in Colorado. He was in prison in Colorado. They ended up moving him for like talking about safety reasons. Like, first of all, fuck his safety. His safety does not matter to anybody except his mammy. And his mammy brought a book too, where she's saying all time. Listen, don't nobody care about his safety. But for safety reasons, they ended up moving him. And do y'all know he is in Dodge Correctional Facility right now in Wisconsin, where I'm at? Yes, that's crazy. Like weird. The world is so small. But yes, that is the story of Shanann and Chris Watts. Rest in peace, Shanann, and your 2 beautiful babies. Now, before we end this video, sidebar, let's talk about this whole asshole of his, Nicole. So when the police, you know, got all the phone records and all of this, that, and the other, that's when they had seen that Nicole and Chris had been calling, you know, on the phone, just in close contact, sending nudes, sexting, all of this, right? So not only did they get this, they got like Google's search history. So y'all better be careful what y'all be Googling, because they definitely gonna come for them phone records, okay? And in the search history, this tramp slut hoe Nicole typing in all kind of crazy shit, like him too. They was both typing in weird shit in the Google shit. So Nicole was, you know, asking Google different shit. Like she was looking for wedding dresses. She was Googling Shanann. She was, you know, asking all type of weird shit, asking how to, what did she say? My girl Bailey, she did a video on this too. She said that girl was on there asking about like how to prepare for anal sex, all type of weird ass shit, right? So you know that they was doing some weird things, strange shit. So, but she was definitely Googling Shanann and just all type of weird shit about being a mistress and shit like that. And Chris was Googling, you know, when to say I love you in a new relationship, and what else did he Google? They was just Googling weird shit. Like they was both stupid as hell and weird. And then after it came out that, you know, Chris had killed Shanann and shit, Nicole was Googling, asking about like is another little story about a man killing his wife and his mistress wrote a book and this, that, and the other. Nicole Googling information about the mistress book deal and how much is she worth, and just like, oh, so now you finna try to make money, you finna try to get cashed out. Just trifling as hell, trifling. And apparently she done changed her name. So now motherfucker really can't even find her. Can't Can't find her. And she lied her whole way through this shit too, which I feel like she should be in jail too. Because she lied her whole way through this, saying she didn't know he was married, and she didn't know this, and she didn't know that. Girl, you didn't know he was married. Girl, you was Googling his wife. How you ain't know he was married? Stop playing in my face, Nicole, you hoe. I'm sorry. My bad, y'all. My bad. It's definitely this drink. This drink got me going a little bit right now. I ain't gonna lie. But anyways, this was a sad story. I just still really can't believe that man killed his wife and his own kids, his pregnant wife. She was pregnant. And his kids, your own little babies. Like, these people was crazy. Y'all know these folks is crazy. But he's gonna rot in jail. I hope them niggas up and Dodge beat the fuck out of him. They probably don't know what he did. I should write to them, pen pal some of them. Write to him and be like, yeah, we'll tell him exactly what he did and how he did his own children. And let them beat his ass every day for the rest of his life till he serve out them 5 life sentences. Beat his ass for 5 lives, nigga. Whoop that ass. Right? My opinion. Anyways, thank y'all for coming. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. And don't forget to comment. Leave your comments. Y'all know I love when y'all talk to me. Leave some comments. Like the video. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up, please. Thumbs up. And share the video if you care. Share if you care. And subscribe to the channel if you are not subscribed already. I appreciate it. And y'all know we have fun over here. And we talk about all these crazy ass, psycho ass people out here in the world. I think things like this keep me on my toes. So I know it's crazy people out here. So I'm always watching my surroundings and looking around my back. Because you ain't going to get me like this. No, bitch. I know what you're thinking. And we definitely get lit. Y'all know. So before we go, cheers. Thanks again for tuning in. I love you guys, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.